quote something from the website of October2011.org. We will non-violently resist the corporate machine by demanding that America's resources be invested in human needs and environmental protection instead of war and exploitation. We can do this together. We will be the beginning. Can I get an amen? All right, so here we are. It's been a decade since the Bush crime family ordered the invasion and occupation of Afghanistan. It's been 8 years since the Bush crime family ordered the invasion and occupation of Iraq. Those actions were identified as war crimes 65 years ago by the prosecutors at Nuremberg, trials that resulted in the hanging of 10 high-ranking Nazis. Yeah, the chief U.S. prosecutor at Nuremberg, Supreme Court Justice Robert Jackson, said as the trials began, to institute a war is to set in motion the forces of murder and destruction. To invade another country is to embark on a course of killings, destruction, and brutalities as planned objectives. To initiate a war of aggression, therefore, is not only an international crime, it is the supreme international crime, differing only from other war crimes in that it contains within itself the accumulated evil of the whole. End quote. Those Bush administration officials who ordered the supreme international crime are now on book tours. Murderers by definition, war criminals all, they're out in the malls of America selling books. Why have they not been arrested, tried, and convicted? And why has Barack Obama continued these wars? The reality of military aggression now occurring, U.S. military aggression now occurring in how many? 5, 6, 7 countries, is one of a number of failures of the U.S. security state in which we now all live. We are also seeing the results of a complete failure of the capitalist system, a monumental social collapse. Because of the corporate state's addiction to war, we have a new generation of Americans who are finishing their formal education with no jobs, enormous debt, a deteriorating global climate, and the prospect of endless war. Our parents and grandparents are facing a societal meltdown that will destroy a lifetime of work while at the same time ending Social Security and Medicare. Why? In order to maintain the tax advantages enjoyed by the ultra-rich. The 99% of us who are not the ultra-wealthy are being told that this breakdown, this chaos, this malfunction of society is a result of natural forces at work, that there's nothing to be done. This is a lie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The corporate state is demanding ownership of everything. Our education system, our economy, our government, everything. To this, there's really only one answer to these corporate thugs. Go fuck yourself! We've had enough! Wow, how dare these greedy bastards! Give me all of it! Give me everything! Give me your body! Give me your spirit! Give me your soul! Give me your planet! Give me your life! Fuck you! Do they think we're going to do this? To continue this passive bullshit that the corporations, the capitalists, the national security state has relied on for the past several decades? We have the news for you, Mr. Capitalist, Miss Corporatist. The passivity is over. Your greed and your stupidity is now going to be met head on. It has already begun, obviously. For the past 3 weeks, there's been growing in Lower Manhattan a resistance that will not be closed off by arrests or media ridicule. The arrests continue. the ridicule seems to be disappearing. Gandhi said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. And somewhere in that progression, they begin to fear you. The fear starts once it becomes apparent that ignoring this movement is perilous, that ridiculing this movement is dangerous, that fighting this movement is impossible. That's when the fear settles in. Be afraid, corporatists. Be very afraid. What has now begun in this country will not be shut down, turned off, or turned away. And in the past 10 years, it has seemed at times like the opportunity to stop this ugly capitalist machine was slipping away. The doors were slowly closing, the windows were being shut and locked, resistance was disappearing. But there were cracks in the doors and the windows, and as Leonard Cohen wrote, there's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. The light is getting in. People are waking up and realizing the struggle here against oppression by the ruling class here, that struggle has begun, especially against the corporate war machine that is so determined and so destructive. Almost 50 years ago, free speech movement founder Mario Savio was talking about that same machine when he said, you've got to put your bodies on the gears and on the wheels, on the levers, upon the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. We've got to make it stop. We've got to make it stop. We've got to make it stop. And that's why we're here. That's why Occupy Wall Street is in New York, why other resistance is now forming in 200 cities. Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, on and on. The lines are being clearly drawn. Simply put, and in closing, we will no longer be partners in our own destruction. We will no longer hesitate to resist. We will organize, we will fight these corporate monsters and their wholly owned subsidiary, the people who now operate the levers of power in this city. Power does not belong to a corporation. Power does not belong to a ruling class. Power belongs to the people. Thank you.